Morning.
Hiya, it's the afternoon here.
I know, I was just going to say that. It's very early here, but it's probably not for you.
No, it's half past 3 in the afternoon here.
It's 4 o'clock here.
Hi.
Hello, Barbara.
Hi.
Melissa. Hi, Martin. How is it? How are you?
I'm all right.
Nice to meet you.
And you, properly.
Yes. And not just my photo.
Not just your photo that Melissa holds up, no.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm awake. I've been
That's
awake
good.
about half an hour, but I'm still like, oh, it's a bit early.
Yeah.
It's daylight though.
Yeah, it's definitely, you can tell the season's changing. But it's fine. It's not. I like this time of year.
Well, we've had
Yeah.
lovely thunderstorms this afternoon.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't. We've had them this morning early,
We've had them this afternoon.
but we haven't had them. A little bit of rain. Was it 6 mils for the day?
It's really it's dry here, but you can tell it's rained all night. It's yeah. I think it's just rained constantly. Oh, it's felt like it's rained constantly for like a fortnight.
Yeah.
Yes. I spoke to family in Devon last night. They all had jumpers on.
Yeah, they've still got the aircon on in work, in the office, and it's definitely getting colder. So I went with a shawl yesterday to the office.
That's not fun.
I'm sitting in work going, it's not t-shirt weather. I need to get shirts out, I think, or find some long sleeve t-shirts. Yes.
So how is your...
I am not much further than I was last week.
Okay.
So we have 2 legs.
Okay.
And a third. That's as far as we got, but I have been working on my shawl.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
So that's kind of taken the pro.
Someone to see you, Martin. Doctor.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
I should say afternoon, not morning.
Well, it's somewhere at some point, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Martyn Bear looks very entertaining.
Thank you. I'm trying to, we're going to be overrun with them, hopefully.
There's no answer to that.
No, I know. They'll be everywhere. Mark will be fuming.
Oh, Bessie, come on.
But yeah, I haven't done much on the bear because I've been doing my shawl, but I'm now ready to cast it off.
Exciting.
Oh, wow.
So, but I didn't do any ends.
Oh.
So I've literally got an entire shawl's worth of ends to sew in, and yeah.
That's okay.
Is that last year's MCAL?
Yeah.
That's what friends are for.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping, because I'm going away this weekend because we've got the Unravel Yarn Festival. So I'm hoping that I can get it cast off. If I can get it cast off today, tomorrow, then I've just got ends to do while I'm at Gemma's in Kent.
So have you taught Mark to sew in ends?
No, but that could be a good idea, couldn't it?
Yeah. What you do is you sit next to each other and you pass half your shawl to Mark and give him a sewing in needle, and he could do the same thing.
That's a good idea. And then it would be warm as well, because we're both sitting underneath.
Yes.
Yeah, so that needs to happen, but I have finished it because this was the second one that I've made, Karen.
Yeah.
So I made one for Mark last year, and then I decided I was going to make a second one for me. So the second one was always going to be just make it when you can. I was going to try and start it during the MCAL, but because we changed patterns after the first week, etc., I got behind. So I finished my first one. But my plan was always to make a second one.
Ah, right. I love the
Toft,
colours.
Yeah, they're my colours.
Are they?
And because obviously we could do our own middle, our own week one, I've got a crochet. So I've mixed the street, which is quite nice. I like that because I've got a crochet
Yeah.
centre then, and then knitting everywhere else. But these dip stitch rows are crazy because as you're doing the dips, you're doubling the stitch length effectively. So this row I've just finished, I think it got up to just over 1,100 stitches.
A lot of stitches.
It was a lot. And then you purl two together through the back loop. So you purl yourself back, but not only you purling it through the back loop. So it's just a bit more awkward. So it takes, it was just over an hour, I think, to do one row. It was,
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So where is everyone from here that's in the chat at the moment? Are they all Aussies or you have some from New Zealand?
Well, I'm from the UK.
Adelaide. Sorry.
I said I'm from the UK too.
Okay.
I'm just in my classroom, nice and early.
Oh, you are early.
Yes.
yeah.
I'm from the Gold
Toft.
Coast.
Yeah, I've done the clever thing. I brought it and I brought my pattern and I was crocheting in this bag last night, but for some reason my crochet hook is not in the bag. I think it
Uh-oh.
must have fallen out when I was putting everything back in or something. So I've literally brought everything to sit in my classroom this morning and crochet for an hour and have no crochet hook.
Oh.
We sadly can't help with that.
No, no.
You'll need to
I've
have one
done
in
that
every
myself.
space.
Yeah, well, I've got a knitting project in my office because if I'm, I teach English, so if I'm marking essays, that's a lot of sitting and reading. So I tend to knit something simple while I'm reading big essays.
That is a good idea.
I don't like sitting still, and you kind of need to sit still to read the essay.
Yes.
Wonder if that's a teacher thing. I feel very similar. I always have something on hand to work on.
Just
I can't stand in a queue, but I've done the same as you before and left my crochet hook.
Well, I went
Like
to.
had it in my hand as I left the house and then put it down somewhere.
I don't know how it's not in because I literally was using it, took a photo of, because I'm making Graham as well. Making Graham the octopus with a friend. So I literally did the white bit of a tentacle, took a photo and then put everything back in the bag. Or so I thought. Probably means my crochet hook's hiding in the sofa or something.
Yeah, it'll be shoved on the back of a cushion somewhere.
But I was excited to work because I've started the body. I've done the arms and the legs and I've started the body. I thought that would be a nice one to be doing this morning.
Round and round.
I've got a Graham here myself.
Amazing.
Love that. Did you enjoy making it?
I did. I mostly use DK and sometimes I do a fine. So I've only done a couple of things in Aran and it's not, it's a nice change. I think it's a nice change.
Yeah, I enjoy doing the. Go. I've not
Sorry,
done
and my
many of
daughter
these.
was wearing it for a hat the other day. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I mostly do DK, and I'm in awe of the ones who do the little micro crochet. I keep saying I'm going to try it, but I've never quite actually got there.
As I said last week, like I made, so that's the fine made with a 2mm hook.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I didn't enjoy it. It was
No.
Have you got a fine frizzle chicken?
I have a fine, but I haven't done the real micro, like the octopus you were showing last week with that you did on a with sewing thread. I haven't done anything that small. Fine's the finest I've done.
Yeah, fine is I think I don't, apart from that little octopus, I haven't done it, but I see some people like the Fine Finley, the summer competition with the seahorse. Did you see someone made a really
Yep.
tiny, and I look at that and I was like, I couldn't understand how you even, my eyes just don't work that well. I don't think to be able to see that teeny tiny.
No.
Yeah,
It's
My
because Holly
fingers
did the
too.
3 sizes, I think.
it's just a different skill altogether, I think.
Hmm.
And it
Very
takes
hard to
longer
see.
than to do one of these.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I quite like doing the Aaron, because they do weirdly grow quicker.
Yeah.
Even though it's the same amount of stitches. I don't know, it's just because I think it's a 5mm hook, it's easier to place where your stitches
Yep.
need to go. You can see them a little bit bigger. It just feels like it's a little quicker to get going. But my plan this week is to try and get, now I've finished my shawl. See, this is what I do. So I'm like, oh, I finished my shawl now. The fact that I've still got to bind it off and sew in all the ends, in my head now, the knitting is finished. I said that last night, and Mark went, but you've got to cast it off. So, oh yeah, it's just like a 600 stitch cast off. He said, well, it's not finished then, is it? Because you've still got to knit it. I was like, no, but the knitting's finished.
Yeah. The fun bit's finished.
The fun bit's finished, yeah. So I do want to try and cast that off. I think that probably needs to be a priority. And then this weekend, get large Martyn finished so that next week I can then do chunky. Because
Yeah,
apart from making morag, I've never done anything that big before. And obviously that was just the head. So I'm intrigued to see what making an actual chunky one is like, because it was quite hard going on my hands doing that morag because it's such a big hook and such big yarn. I'm intrigued to see what it's like to make an actual animal.
so much loop stitch.
In Martyn?
No, in
Oh,
Morag.
in morag. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I do like loop stitch. And that's why when I think I said last week when Kerry said, right, have you given any thought, techniques? And I was like, well, not complex color changing, but definitely loop stitch.
Yeah.
Because I do like it. I think it's quite a cool technique.
Yeah. I don't mind it in the little bits like you've got in Martyn, but I look at Morag and go, no, thanks.
I've never done that, so it's going to be very interesting when mine is on its way. So
Yeah.
it will be very interesting to give that a go. Amigurumi isn't my friend usually, so it'll be very interesting to see how that works out.
Did you finished Advent though, didn't you?
I did finish Advent, yes. I
That wasn't meant to
Advent
sound. That wasn't meant to sound shady, by the way.
Yeah, I did finish Advent in April, but to be fair, Advent arrived at my mother-in-law's in the Cotswolds in the middle of winter and I couldn't really see in her house to do it. Plus we were sort of traveling and I didn't really have the time to do it in
Yeah.
Advent. So I did bring it back here to do back here. And because life was busy back here, I didn't really have the time to do it then. So I did. Once I actually got stuck into it, it was okay.
And you were on a whirlwind tour because you were here 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks.
5 weeks we were in the UK.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quite a while. It was lovely, but it was very cold.
You chose to come in winter.
Well,
Right.
we chose to come for Christmas. So it's just a shame that Christmas is in winter. It was lovely. Like, it was a beautiful time of the year to be in London because it was so pretty.
Yeah.
But boy, was it cold. Oh.
Surely
I won't
that's
be
what you could
in
show
a
off all the
hurry.
knitwear.
Yeah, so we can show off knitwear. Yeah, absolutely. Get all the
Yeah.
woolens out. While we were talking about loop stitch and color change, I did have a question from someone on Instagram called Amanda who asked about the bib. So I've just I've done a little technique bit. So just to show it, Amanda can't make this morning, so she's going to watch it back. But she was asking about the placement of the bib. So I talked about I didn't want to do complex color changing, but we wanted to make sure that because in that breed of bear, they've kind of got this big collar. So what we've done is you've got the rounds on the body that just give you the stripe, but then to just give them a bit more of a flash here, you're creating a little triangle. So this obviously doesn't have loops on it, but basically what you're doing is you chain the number in the pattern to come here, and then you just keep crocheting as you right side, wrong side, you just do one less stitch, and that's what gives the triangle shape. And then all you're doing at the same time is you are placing loops in it. So that's what gives the effect. And then all you're going to do is then imagine that's the front. You literally just sew that into place. And then that gives the effect. So it looks a bit weird as you're doing it, but it is meant to look a bit weird because is it that way? So you are just creating that triangle. So I hope that helps, Amanda. I drew a very bad picture yesterday, a line drawing on my iPad, and sent it. And I think that helped. But I said I would just cover it again. But I thought I would do it plain rather than doing it with loops. Because when you do it with loop, it just looks, you're like, what's this?
Mm.
But yeah, I thought it was a nice little technique just to give you that extra flash on his chest without having to do, because you think, imagine doing that on the body and color changing, because then as you're coming up, you've literally just got like one stitch in the oatmeal, and then yeah, that wouldn't be fun.
Martyn, have you seen anyone who has chosen different colours to the original?
I have. Someone tagged me on Instagram. We have a blue one.
Oh.
I think it's turquoise and sage.
Oh,
wow.
it
And
looks
it
very
just
different.
looks completely different.
Oops.
Oh, how cute is that?
And it's fun because they've cut the loops as well. I can't see if I can find the person's name to give them the credit. And yeah, they've cut the loops as well then, which makes it look a little bit different. That is Educating Beanie on Instagram. If you watch, loved it. Love the blue.
Very cute.
But no, so far, all the others I've been starting to be tagged in as they're being finished are all in standard colours.
Okay.
Did you go for everyone here, if they've ordered, go for standard colours?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine just arrived yesterday.
Ah, exciting.
Yes.
I was hoping mine would be here today. I was crossing everything because it's like I can track where it is, but alas, no, it'll probably arrive just after we finish this. You watch.
You what? Yeah.
Yeah, mine says it's on its way too. But
That's still not too bad though. If you think it's about a week
No.
then to get to Australia.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very quick. When I first started ordering from Toft, it used to come in 3 days, but I think the whole system of mailing has gone a bit haywire recently.
Yeah.
Mainly,
Yeah.
it gets to Australia really quickly and then
stops.
hangs
yes.
around for a few days.
Everything
Yeah, I find
gets to
stops in
Australia
Melbourne.
quick and then stops.
Yep.
Right. I have finished a leg. So I'm going to do my old favorite, and I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to go on to the next one, and then I'll do the oatmeal in another color. Once I've done both of them.
I introduced my friend to the kind of process style of crochet with the Graham. We're doing it together.
Yeah.
Because I'm very much a process type of crochet, like I know you've mentioned previously, Martyn. So we've done all the half tentacles and are now going back and doing all the white bits. And she was like, she just never thought of doing it that way, but she's really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it much more doing that way. Doing it in the pieces.
Yeah.
Well, I made loads of little mini elves and elfies for Christmas, so that when I've got 3 kids, so that when they came downstairs on Christmas Day in their hand knit stocking with their names on, we've got 5 stockings, they had a matching elf or elfie. The stocking is in their favourite colour, and the elf or elfie was in their favourite colour too. But I did that in a process, so I did loads of the legs, and then I did the arms, and then I did the bodies, and then I did skirts for the girls and whatnot. And then had a sewing up party.
To me, it just makes more sense to get around the, like, it's the second sock syndrome. It's that you finish a whole tentacle. I think I finished a whole tentacle on Graham's. It was the first time I'd ever done anything like that. But then did I do it? No, I didn't do that on Graham. I do generally follow that because it's like, yeah, let's do all the legs, all the arms, all the bodies. It makes more sense to me then. Then I finish one. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do the whole thing again. But I'm trying to think what I did with Graham. Maybe because it was part of the Cal, maybe I did do it as intended.
I think you were talking about you'd gone slightly ahead so that you would then be able to do it.
I did get ahead on it. I can't remember what I did now.
It's too early in the morning for you.
It is too early in the morning. And also I think I've crocheted so much lately. I'm like, what did I do with that one?
You know, Martyn, what you could do is you could give Mark a sewing needle and Mark's jumper, and you could sew in ends on your shawl and he could sew in ends on his jumper.
I did suggest about him doing the ends on his jumper and he wasn't keen.
Well, you could stop. He could sew ends in on your shawl.
I think he saw the amount of ends on it and he's like, no, you're the knitter, you do it. Like the ends on a bear, when I finished sewing that up, possibly I might get him to do that, but I'm not sure he's going to do the ends. I'll tell him though that you said.
No, don't mention my name to Mark.
Melissa came up with a great idea.
No, he won't love
Get
me
it done
anymore.
quicker though, because then you can focus on just knitting the rest of the other one.
Yeah, that's
It's
true. He
ready to
might
be
get his jumper
sewn together.
Yeah.
He's not getting it this side of Christmas, sadly.
So not this year again.
It's the MCAL time now.
Yes.
And another year goes past.
Knitter's Christmas. This is the thing, because I love the MCAL so much, and it just takes up so much time because it's a big project. It is just one of those, like, whatever you finished or haven't finished by the time that starts, that's really it for the rest of the year then. Because that's October into November, then you're into Advent, and then just general Christmas prep and all that kind of stuff. It's just, yeah.
Oh, it's nearly Christmas cake time.
It is nearly Christmas cake time. I'm thinking about doing sloe gin this year as well. I found someone that's selling sloes. And you don't really obviously need to do a lot to make sloe gin. You just put the sloes in a bottle of gin. But I think that would be quite cool. So I might try and do that this year. I've lost count already. I got that far and I can't count up to 18.
So, Martyn, I have to head off because I've got an appointment. But I just wanted to make sure that I popped in when you'd gone to the trouble of coming in so early for the people on this side of the world. So love watching all your makes and all your videos, and especially your Toft ones. So hopefully catch you another time.
Yes, we should do. I definitely want to do more of these. And yeah, thank you very much for popping by. It was lovely to meet you.
No worries.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Sorry, I was late too. I'm a teacher as well. And I had trouble extracting myself from my work to get on.
Where are
Yes.
you,
it's-
Rachel?
I'm in Western Australia, so it's
Oh.
2 p.m. here. And I had every intention of coming on last week, and I actually got up at like 10 to 3, not realizing you guys were in daylight saving time. So I missed you by an hour.
Oh.
Oh,
So, but yeah, so it's 2 p.m. here, and our school normally finishes at 3, but they owed me some time, so I got away early,
good.
but not quite early enough.
oh, you did well then.
Yeah.
What age do you teach?
High school. I'm a high school maths teacher, so I teach there 12 to about 18-year-olds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I love it most days.
Maths was never a strong point.
Yeah, but
No.
you wouldn't believe how much maths is in all the things you're doing now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm always taking in what I make because I do a bit of quilting as well. And like I'll show them things that I've messed up and say, well, what did I do wrong here? And they sit there puzzling over trying to, and I've figured it out myself, but I still think it's important for them to see that, you know, even
Yeah.
someone who's really good at maths can make silly mistakes by
Yeah.
not thinking things through. So yeah, I take a lot of my makes in to show my classes.
Good idea.
Right. I just need to count.
Do you guys have just the final exam at 18 then?
Well, yes, some kids are 17, some are 18. My son is about to turn 18 Thursday, and he heads to his year 12 exams this year. So that's the final year of high school.
So we do it, I don't know if you know, we do it slightly differently. So you have
Yeah.
high school that ends at 16 with your GCSEs. But then the government made it compulsory, not optional, to go into what we call further education. And there's different kinds of qualifications, but I teach what we call the A level, the advanced level, which is the one that is the main route to get into university. So I just teach 16 to 19-year-olds, and I teach English.
Okay.
Yeah, my previous job, I only taught 16 to 18-year-olds. It was just a senior campus, but yeah.
But
I don't think when I was in school, I don't think we did. I'm trying to think. I did A-level English literature. I think my teachers then, they'd taught me in earlier years. I don't think we had in my comp dedicated A-level teachers. I think they had to do everything.
Sometimes you have a sixth form attached to a school, and then you just move up. So my secondary school did, but I didn't actually want to stay, so I went to a college.
Yeah.
My college where I work, they have a specialized sixth form building. So my building only has A-level teachers, 16 to 19-year-olds. And then we have another building, which is the main college, where they do all the vocational subjects, and where the adults go to like do the adult courses and the BSIT GCSEs and things.
Yeah. I see.
Can't count either. Yeah, couldn't count that row.
What time does school start for you then?
First class is at 9. So we're officially meant to start as teachers around 8:30. But I come in early because my brain works better in the morning. So if I'm going to do extra work, because teacher, I'd rather do it in the morning when my brain works better. And all I'm missing is the kids getting ready for school and traffic.
Yeah.
And then I get the evening, in theory, to myself when I just want to
crochet.
Yeah, and knit and read and sleep.
But the in theory would be because of the 3 children, I'm guessing.
Well, that, but then also sometimes, even with the extra time in the morning, there's just to meet the deadlines, you do end up taking something home because the lesson needs tweaking for tomorrow, or you didn't quite finish marking. And
my daughter's a teacher. Yeah, and it's hard work.
Yeah.
She's the year, I can't remember. She does inclusion teaching, which is working with the children with problems. Year
Special
6, I
needs.
think. Sorry? Special needs.
Special needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's interesting. We're all in education. I work with special needs kids.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
except me, I'm not.
I work for the big nasty bank. Well, they're not. They're a lovely bank, but in comparison to you being lovely teachers, I work for a big corporate.
We all need banks.
We all need banks.
I'm
Well,
retired.
we need you, Martin. We need you to
Yes.
keep those banks work going.
Yeah. I've got the
But we're-
the commute though that like people are saying there about traffic to work and things. I was very lucky because my office was 2.5 miles from home. So we had allocated parking that you could park twice a week. So if I wanted to, I did. On a Monday and a Friday, I would have a parking space or I would drive, which was like 6 minutes drive, like the shortest commute ever. Or it was a 25-minute walk. But now they've closed our building because they're co-locating lots of different sites. So they're having a new building developed in Cardiff, but we're all in Newport now, which is about 10 miles away from here. But yesterday, because I'd been away for the weekend, I was a little bit later leaving the house yesterday. It took me about 45 minutes to get to work. And you're just like,
Yep.
I miss my 25-minute walk and I'm sitting here for 45 minutes in the car.
Mm.
So yeah, that's a new one for this. And I think we're going to be there for about 18 months. So I think you get used to it now that you're just up in the car, off you go. But I haven't commuted for years and years. I used to work in Bristol, which is about 55 miles-ish, I think. So I was used to just commuting. That was just my routine. And then having worked in Cardiff for so long now, I think I got a bit spoiled. I was very lucky that I lived and worked really close together. So yeah, that's a new one for this. And it's going to be winter commuting as well. So that's going to be fun.
So they're building a new building for you to go back to in Cardiff, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think the building's already built. That they're going to, I'm guessing we're going to lease it, that we're going to move into. But it's had its first fit out. So it's got mains and electrics and that kind of thing. But my understanding is there's no walls, there's no meeting rooms. And so it's going to take a while to get all that stuff sorted. But it's fine.
You do a fair amount of travelling around the country to see all your teams as well, don't you?
Yeah, maybe I try and see everyone once a year. But it's probably travel, yeah, maybe once a quarter. It's not too bad. And I'm usually very lucky that I can go by train. So that often is a lot of knitting, crafting time. Because like confidentiality stuff, it's hard to work on the train. So I try and balance my time back and I'd have a couple of extra hours, say crochet, and then I'll work a little bit later to get the time back. But it means I just get to get on the train and just sit and knit or sit and crochet. Morning, Gemma. Oh, you're
muted.
on mute. You're on mute, Gemma.
Sorry. Yeah, I was just having a sneaky pre-work look at Instagram and thought I'd join, but I'm not ready for work yet, so I look a bit of a mess.
Well, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much.
Bit of early morning crochet.
I'm actually knitting, sorry.
Don't be sorry.
What
What are you knitting on?
I'm making a new jumper. It's the Tory Knits Metropolitan pullover. I'm making a bright red one.
Nice colour.
I've never done This is like a DK, but it's got like a bit of mohair in it. And I've never knit with anything like this before, so it's been a bit of a, yeah. I had to pull it out yesterday, and it's not a type of yarn you want a frog.
No.
Taking it too far with it.
When I made my mum's love note sweater, that was, I think it was a fingering weight with a mohair held double. And I realized I couldn't like count to 6 because I think it was a 6-stitch repeat. And I'd get to the end and she'd have 3 stitches left and I've got 8. And I'm like, I don't know the amount of times I just ended up taking rows back because I just couldn't count. And then someone said, put markers in almost every 10 stitches, maybe. They're like, put markers in. And then if you know you get to that mark and it's wrong, you know it's wrong then, rather than you've gone all the way around to the end. And you're like, then it's wrong. Game changer.
That's how I did mine, because I got to the lace and did it wrong and undid it all, and then I read the same tip and managed to fix it. But I do crochet as well.
Do mohair in the freezer. It's easier to work with.
Oh, I've heard someone say that before. If you need to frog it, put it in the,
Yeah. Put it in the freezer.
Cool it down.
It works well for us Queenslanders, you see, because it's hot and our hands are hot.
I'm going to be doing the love note as my like New Year's cast on. So I will keep that in mind because I will no doubt have issues counting.
Definitely stitch markers every however many stitches. Because it's actually quite quick, a pattern.
Yeah, I made one a couple of years ago without the mohair, in just a child DK, child size. And I think, I can't remember if I did that or not, but I think the lace mostly worked out all right. But she's grown out of that jumper and has nearly grown out another one since. So it's obviously been quite a while that I made it. But this one I'm going to try and make for me with a mohair. So I will be religiously counting.
Yeah, it's such a good pattern. And I liked how quickly it grew because it's a big needle.
Yes, I've just done a top magpie tendency. It's a 1-16 top, and it was fingering weight. It was sock yarn, hand dyed, and a 5 or a 6. So that grew really quickly in a broken garter stitch, which I've never used before, but I will definitely be doing.
This is 6mm needles, so it is growing quick. But I only started it yesterday and I've made quite good.
Oh wow.
You're speedy.
I was off.
Yes.
Just sit and do this most of the time.
I've got so many stitches.
Oh wow.
What are you making, Barb?
It's a shawl called Rum and Cola by Boo Knits. It's just a lacy, very lacy.
Oh, nice. I like the points.
Yeah, and I'm doing it in lace weight.
Yeah. Oh, so
and
pretty.
I've got 4 rows to go.
Oh, wow. So then I can give you my one and you can do mine.
No.
What size needles are you using for lace weight? Is it a loose gauge? It's a bigger needle, or?
No, for this part of the pattern, for 10 rows of the lace bit, I've got 4mm, and then I use 3.75 and I think 3.5 at different sections.
Not too bad then.
No. It's pretty good.
It's awful to knit, Martyn. It's got beads in it.
And we've got beads.
I've never knit.
You can't see the beads. They're so easy to do.
Are they?
No, they're not.
You have a 0.6 crochet hook.
Yeah.
Then you just put your bead on the end. So you got your little bead.
Oh, look how small that is.
Yeah.
And then you just grab the stitch off the needle, pull the bead onto and you start going again. You put it back on
Yeah.
the needle. So easy.
So I started that shawl with Barbara and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, but we started it when? 5 months ago?
Yeah.
How big is yours, Melissa?
It's not.
I think she
Less
pulled it
than that.
apart.
I
And
might-
I
might
just
have done-
decided
I think
I
I've
was
done the
going to-
garter tab. Might have done the garter tab, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Not much. Not much. It was too hard. The pattern was too hard for me to read.
oh no, well, I don't have any stitch markers in and I'm supposed to. The stitch markers annoy me.
It sounds like you're a bit of a maverick.
And you get to the end of the row and you've got no hope of having the right amount of stitches. And you just make up with the pattern for those last few stitches.
See, too hard for me.
Melissa, you need to do the Mission Knit along with me.
I have decided that I have got some yarn chosen. I even bought some mohair to maybe do the mohair there.
Yay.
However, I have decided that I might wait for the first 2 clues to come out to see what it's like first. Because I did not like last year's shawl after it all went pear-shaped. So I don't think I would have worn that had I done that shawl. And I'm not, I'm not a great knitter. I'm a better crocheter. So I thought I would. So I do have yarn, and I have about 4 different colorways to pull out of my stash that I've got in my head.
Or
Amazing.
I have more, but I've got 4 in my head that I think I would go for.
So what I'm
One
going to do is I'm going to try and make 2 this year again, but again, do what I did last year. So I'm going to make 1 as we're going, and then I have yarn to make a second one for Mark.
So do you want to see what I think I've chosen?
Go on.
Oh, I think I've chosen that.
Ooh.
Oh, they're pretty.
Yeah.
beautiful. Who are
that'd be
those?
lovely.
Yeah. So it's a bright green called Poison Ivy, and the multicolored one is called Nimbin Vibes.
Nice.
Who's the dyer?
Shardy Glen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
So that's what I think I'm going to do, and that is way out of my comfort zone to go those colours. That's not me at all. So, and I got a fairly neutral, creamy mohair to go with that.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what I think I'm going to do.
My plan is that I'm going to try and do 2 again so that Mark and I get matching shawls, but I'm going to switch them around this year. So I'm going to do my one first.
Oh, cool.
Because of the Wicked theme, because the movie's coming out.
Oh, yes.
And then we get the second one. But I think I like all the shawls because they're all slightly different shapes. You can wear them in slightly different reasons, but occasions. But I definitely have favorites and least favorites. So like twist and turns, because it's more of a wrap shape.
Yeah.
That's one of my least favorites. But I love the colors because it's the rusty browns. But it's my least favorite shape. So what I'm thinking of doing is, if I say it was another shape like that I'm not particularly a fan of that shape, I won't make a second one. I'll use the colors to make a second Starflake, because Starflake was my first ever shawl in the Mission Knit Along, and my brioche is really funky. There's like a big hole down the bottom somewhere, and there's a bit somewhere that's a bit funny, but I'm proud of it because it was the first time I ever did brioche. So my plan is that I will, if I'm not a huge fan of the shape this year, then I will make a second Starflake, and I'll use the second colors to remake that one. So I'm going to see. So I've got options.
Okay, very cool.
I bought a kit for last year, but we were on holiday when it started, so I had to start it when I came back, and then Christmas happened, and then this year I was like, I'm gonna do it, but we're on holiday again when it's on, and I feel like if you're not in the middle of all the social media and keeping up with the clues and things, I just sort of lose the momentum a little bit. But I'm going to Yarndale, so I know I'm going to see kits, and I'm going to end up buying colours.
You're going to Yarndale. Oh, you lucky thing.
Yeah, I can't make it this year. We've been once before. Have you been before?
Yeah, I've been a few times. I'm quite lucky because we're in Liverpool, so it's like the nearest big yarn show to us.
Yeah. Are you a Toft crocheter?
Yes, I've just spotted this is on my dining table.
Yay!
Oh.
So you're
Yeah.
gonna have to go. You're gonna have to go and see the sample sale then.
Yeah, I'm quite excited about that. I wasn't sure what to make of it because normally it's all the sort of regular colours, but
Yeah.
I've not had any Toft hand dyed, so it'd be quite intriguing to see what they've got.
Yeah, two of my friends are exhibiting there. So Gemma from Little Grey Girl and Nick from Cool Woolens. So I've already told them they need to go because I can't get there, but I'm gonna need at least one skein of hand dyed. So can they go to the Toft store for me? And Nick's like, yeah, that's fine, no problem. We'll FaceTime you and you can choose. And I'm like, no, I feel like you know what colors I like. So I feel like lucky dip. You just
Yeah.
go, you choose what you think looks nice. I love the idea. I've got a few different Toft hand dyes now. I don't have them all. It was never one of those, like my magpie instinct to collect all the patches. I know I'll never be able to go back and get all the hand dye, but I like the idea of getting a couple of hand dyes in different color palettes and maybe doing like a double knit shawl in them.
Oh yeah.
So I'd need to make a standard like Stephen West shawl type pattern. I'd probably need 6 or 7 DK skeins, I think. So my plan is to maybe collect a few, and then when I've got enough, I can work out maybe some kind of vertices unite in different hand dyes that are kind of either similar colors or contrasting colors, and I can work out placement. So yeah, I like the idea of we'll just send Nick along to go and.
It'd be the world's longest FaceTime because there'd be that much choice.
Yeah, the staff will be there like, right, enough now. Get him off the phone. Just tell him to make, because I can't make a decision. Like choosing a sandwich at lunchtime is a nightmare. I can stand there and I'm going to go down. I'm going to get a tuna sandwich, and then I'll go to the sandwich shop, and I'm literally like, oh, but do I want the chicken? Oh, but egg is a good. And I'm an absolute. I've kind of got to set myself like I want tuna before I leave the office, and then it's one of those grab off the shelf and go, because otherwise I'll just be and I'll dither.
Yeah.
Martin, we had a yarn market here this weekend, and we had a lot of fun. But I picked up a Stephen West book, and it's signed.
No way!
Yes,
That's very cool.
it was very cool. So I got painted shawls.
Oh yeah, I've got that one.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
I'm making the painted triangles,
Oh yeah, that looks lovely.
but just in a brown with like gold, like I say gold, like a sort of yellowy gold colour triangles, just like a 2-colour one. But it looks really nice.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think I'm quite up to doing those just yet, but it's very cool to have the book, and eventually I'll get there. But
Yeah.
it's a lovely. Oh, the photographs in the book are just gorgeous.
Yeah, I love the shawl book, and you can look at them and just there's so much inspiration in them.
Oh yeah, they're just fantastic photos.
But I do think I've said before, like if you can knit purl, increase, decrease, you can definitely do the MCAL, because there's so many different like technique videos with it, and he shows you what to do and how to fix it, and if there is a brioche option, there's always a non-brioche option, and yeah, best time of the year.
He's so
Well,
as well, like his videos. I couldn't knit about 2 or 3 years ago, and I made the boneyard shawl. And I just watched loads of like every time I came across something I didn't know, I found a Stephen West video showing you how to do it, because I knit continental as well. And I love that he shows you all the different, if you do it left-handed, if you do it right-handed, and it's so lovely.
Well, it starts on the 1st of October, doesn't it?
3rd of October.
Yeah. Well, October and November are very busy months for me. Bobby graduates, and my mother-in-law is coming to us, Martin. So
Ah,
it's going to be hectic. So I won't have a lot of time for crafting. So that's another reason why I thought, well, I've got the things to do it, but whether I actually join in at that time, that might not happen. I missed out on the Advent Toft. I'm on the waiting list.
oh no.
Well, I couldn't decide whether I should really have it because postage to Australia was expensive. The reason I did it last year was because I was able to get it sent to my mother-in-law and collect it to her from her in the UK and bring it home. But postage was quite expensive to Australia, and I did it around too long deciding, so I missed out. But there's a waiting list, so I'm assuming that Kerry's going to possibly do some more.
I think they make extras in case any get mislaid through the post.
Okay.
So then what they do is when they've all been shipped and they know they've arrived, they then release the extras.
Fair enough.
I think that's where the wait list comes from.
Okay.
Because there was one year mine didn't arrive. So they sent me a second one. And then I think we were like a week into Advent and the first one arrived. And we know that it was the first one that arrived late because they sent the second one with a different carrier.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's quite rare that happens, but they have spares effectively for that. So then, they put the spares on sale then.
Oh, that's good. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
so
ummed and ahed
I'm
and
on the
ummed and
wait
ahed,
list.
and I didn't want to get it, and then it came up on Instagram saying we're down to the last like 10% of stock, and I was like, oh, I don't want to miss out. Like, I just like a proper marketing job was done on me, but I am looking forward to it.
That's how I feel. It's the FOMO, and it is the countdown. You're like, oh, it's now or never. Oh,
I was a bit like that too because I'm thinking, oh, you're gonna open it online, and I'm gonna watch a video and go, oh, I wish I had that. Oh, yeah.
This
Well,
will be my first Advent, so I did get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Last year I
Good.
joined Tofting a bit too late, so I saw it all, but it was too late to get it. So
Last
I
year
was watching out for it.
well.
Yeah, I was watching out for it this year.
I really like last year's.
Yeah, I enjoyed what it became last year. It was very cute.
I love the plum yarn. I was able to get a little plum.
Oh, cute.
They released those like early in the year.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to when we start to decorate for Christmas then, getting last year's out, making a little scene of it, putting it out on the side. So, yeah, it was a good one.
It was a good one, yes. I left all the boxes with my sister-in-law to use this year because it was too hard to bring it all home. So she can do something with the little boxes, make the little tree up.
I love the dolls. I made the cozy cabin doll from the quarterly.
Yeah.
And I actually won first prize in our village flower show for the crochet and knitting category.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
With my cozy cabin doll, and it's one of my favorite things I've ever made. Like, Kerry's just so clever.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That cozy cabin doll's on my list. But I think I'm gonna try and do one doll a year, but I'm gonna do them in large because I did the large nutcracker last year. So then in the birthday sale, I bought the wool. So I've got the Aran wool to make a large head elf.
Oh,
So I think I then like to make a head elfie and then maybe a cozy cabin doll, but we'll have like a little collection of larger dolls for Christmas. That's the plan. I'd love to do more for this year, but that's never going to happen.
I'd like to make the Father Christmas. I love the Father Christmas. But
the traditional one in green or the red?
the red one, but I just love his beard.
Yeah.
I think those like the curls would do me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a fun crochet to do them. If it's like doing the hair on the doll clubs and you just like you know you've got to do it. Once it's done, but it's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
I like though that quite a few of the dolls that I've made so far have hats. So I do get the hair, but it never seems to look exactly like the photos that come with the club ones or what you see on Instagram. So I'm quite happy for the little hat or the decoration that kind of hides.
Yeah.
I've got Beatrix Potter sitting there without her hair, and she's been sitting without her hair for quite a while in my little subscription bag, and I'll have to, it's a little bit of a fear thing. Once I've done it, it'll be fine, but
Yeah, she will be. The dress, I think that pink skirt took a lot longer than I was expecting. I think the hair was quite quick in comparison to that pink skirt.
yeah, I don't think it'll take long. I'm just worried about messing it up. It's silly, because if I just did it, it would be done, right?
Yeah,
Has a
exactly.
hat, doesn't she, as well? I've not done Beatrix yet, and I miss Beatrix. I'm waiting for next March when they hopefully do the back catalogue to get Beatrix. Yeah. But I remember you've done Beatrix, haven't you, Martyn? And is there like a little wicker hat that you crochet on or something?
She's got a little wicker hat, and you make little flowers, and then sew the flowers onto the hat. And it's one of those you can kind of go a bit wild. Then you can kind of put as many or as few as you want. So I think by that point, I think I kind of had enough of doing it. So I think I went with a few, not a lot of them. I was like, no, less is more, and it means I can stop crocheting it now.
Frida's got flowers in her hair before her bun thing.
Yeah.
In different sizes.
What happens if you know, sometimes you talk about a show and tell when you go to the shows. Can you get like patches or something if you take your makes?
Yes. The idea of the patches, I think, is to encourage conversation as well and do show and tell. Like, I think they used to be quite strict that if people walked up and said, "Hi, can I have a patch?" It was like, "Oh, we haven't got any."
Yeah.
Whereas if you like, "Hi, look what I've made," it's like a conversation starter. Then they're like, "Oh, would you like a patch?" I'm not sure how strict. I'm not sure if they're as strict. I know some people are a little bit stricter with others with their patches. I think it's down to staff choice to just give out the patch. But yeah, so if you go to Yarndale, take something with you. And they love show and tell. They'll take pictures, put them on the Instagram. Because I guess for them, they spend so long designing the items. It's nice to see them in real life and see what colors people have done and answer any questions. So yeah, it will depend on, I think Tash is there. I don't know who else is there that weekend, but I know Tash is there. So yeah, definitely take something with you.
Because sometimes you've mentioned doing show and tell, and I've wondered what you mean.
Yeah.
And I think I'll feel silly just going, "Look at my doll." But
No, don't do that. That's all the staff are so lovely and they love seeing when they escape HQ, they get to go out and meet people and actually see all the items that people are making. Yeah, no, definitely don't be shy.
Okay.
Kerry was telling me that she's had people bring an entire suitcase full
wow.
of
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and like people have made like the 12 birds at Christmas and have taken all the 12 birds, or they've made the dolls and they've taken all the dolls. So, you can just take, I made Martyn, that was my most recent make. Like you can like take your most recent make or your favorite make. But yeah, absolutely. People have taken collections.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm doing Ali Pali. I'm going to be at the Ali Pali knitting show, I think, in October. I'm hoping to finish. I will have finished it by then because I want to get both bears done this month. But I'm going to take I might try and take all 4 bears with me.
That's cool.
And like, look at my bears.
Ali Pali's the yarn show where the bars are. Is that right? Where you wander around where there are different bars. So my plan is one year to come to Ali Pali and take Richard and just leave him at the bar.
Yes.
And then go shopping and take the bags of what I've bought back to Richard at the bar.
Yeah, Ali Palette, and I want to say like it's for 4 days, and you
Yeah,
could
cool.
spend all 4 days there and like only have just scratched.
Yourself.
Like there's so many vendors there. It's
Imagine how much fun I'd have there, Barb.
No,
yeah, there will be a
I
lot.
just had to leave her.
On Saturday, she had to leave me.
Yes, it was so bad.
Yeah,
This
for
is
sure.
all I've managed in the hour.
That's good
Oh,
going with bobbles. Another
I've made a
Finley.
basket.
I've done a row.
Leg. So I was about that far on the one leg. So I finished that one and the mushroom, and I've done the loops.
I've
Although
had
I
to
didn't
undo a
check,
few times
I
because
didn't
of
check how long the
miscounting.
loops needed to be, so I kind of just made it up. I felt like about that long.
As long as the other side's the same, it won't matter.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
I
So
have,
there we go.
2 pieces of work.
I'm
And
sorry
you
you
know
forgot
you've got
your
to look
crochet
for a
hook.
crochet hook.
You need to get an extra crochet hook that you take and leave in your drawer in work, so that you've always got a spare crochet hook.
I will have to do that.
Because I'm
I've
sure
also
as a teacher, you've got pens everywhere.
Yes, yes, I have a mountain of pens.
Yeah, so you need to have the same. Put a little crochet hook in your pen pot.
Yep.
Right, well, I need to go and get ready for work.
So
So thank you so much for joining. If anyone's watching on the watch back, next week's will be back to 7 p.m. Tash is hoping to join us from Toft. We can talk to her all about speed crocheting and how she's so quick. I have warned her that I'm going to ask her to give us some tips on speed because she is a speed demon. But yeah, Tash will be joining us hopefully next week. So Tuesday at 7 p.m. But thank you so much for you folks joining me at the end of your day or the start of your day here in the UK. But yeah, it's great to see Martyn's coming to life. So keep tagging me on Instagram. It's really lovely to see them. And yeah, definitely people who are making them in non-standard colors. So I've seen the blue Martyn. That was fun to see. So yeah, any others, let me know. But
Well, thanks for having us early in the morning for you.
no, you know I'm a morning person, so I do quite like getting up early. And if only every day could start with crocheting with friends and a coffee before going to the office, that would be the dream, wouldn't it? Right?
Lovely to meet
Yes.
everyone. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and you.
It's lovely.
Hopefully speak to you all soon.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.